So my chosen site is the William Cook & Sons tool manufacturing building. It was purpose built in 1870 for William Cook & Sons, and it's not used for them or that anymore. So I just want to look at the location of my site, and you can see here it is just on a corner, and it's on the corner of where these two streets meet, so that is Holsworth Street and Elliott Street, just along there. So as you can see, it's not too far from the Glasgow School of Art. It's actually just maybe like a 10-minute walk or 15-minute walk from the Glasgow School of Art, and that is Suckhill Street here. So as you can see, it's not too far from the city centre. And just looking at the sort of typology of my proposal, I wanted to see if there were any other, or I found it interesting to see if there were any other places of worship that were close by, and I found the Tron Church and a Gurdwara is here as well, although it's not on the actual map, but it is there. So I found that interesting, and I also found that there were two train stations close by, or stops close by, so the Charing Cross and the Exhibition Centre stop. As you can see there, three, and the Anderson one here as well. And you have obviously the motorway that goes all the way along here, so it's quite close to the motorway as well. And this is the expressway here. So just going into a bit more detail about the location, Holsworth Street comes up from Finishing Street here, so it comes up at an angle, and Elliott Street comes up from where Argyle Street ends and St Vincent Street begins, and just comes up along here. So the building is right on the corner of these two, so it's just where they meet. And I took this little screen grab from Google Earth just to show the building as a whole, and just look at the relationship between the streets and the building itself. And I think that is a very good image to show that exactly. So I just have these screen grabs that I took from Google Maps just to show the building at street level. So this is just from Elliott Street, and this is on Holsworth Street. So the building itself is made of this sort of polychromatic brick, of different sizes actually, and as you can see along the front and side of the building here, there is this signage that has now been that's faded now, and from the look of it as well, it just looks as if it's been painted on, so just using white paint. So as I said, the building itself does have this it's made of this brick, and it's a two-story building with an attic. It has this sort of garage here, or sort of entrance where goods would be delivered. So as you can see here as well, it's got this sort of sandstone plinth, just because, as I said, Holsworth Street comes up from Argyle Street on an angle, so this is a better image just to show that. So it rises from the sandstone plinth, just to give it that sort of flat surface to work on, or to be built upon. So I've just been looking at this sort of brickwork here, and as you can see, from the condition of it, it is an older building. So as I said, it was built in 1870. So I just want to look at the windows of the building itself. So as you can see here, there is a sort of iron that's been used in a sort of grid form for the windows itself, and the windows have been quite damaged, as you can see, and because of that reason exactly, along the top here they've been boarded up, which just looks like as some sort of wooden boards. That is also what I gathered from when I went on my visit to it. So every window and the door here has a sort of arched brickwork around it, or just this brickwork following the shape of the window and the door, and it's quite nice because it gives it this sort of it puts a sort of attention on it. So I think that's quite nice as well. And as you can see, we also have these sort of sandstone ledges along the bottom of each window, and the steps here as well. They're just made of this stone. So I'll just go on to the next slide. So I've looked at some details here. So the windows here at the back of the building, again, it's the same. We've got this sort of grid form here, and the glass has been damaged, so they've also been boarded up. The windows have been boarded up, and again we have this polychromatic brickwork around the top of each window here, and you can see that sort of at the top of the building as well. Here there's that sort of colour. And just looking at it, it seems that the building itself has been damaged, so they've used different sort of bricks to fix that up. Different sort of, I guess, like the system of it itself. Then we have the door here. So the door itself, the door itself seems to be made of these maybe like timber wooden planks. As you can see, and then it's just been painted over with this like red brick or brick red paint, which is sort of tattered now, and as you can see from the condition of it here itself, so it's obviously got these like little details here, and I guess it seems to be the case that this part of the door was the same as this one and it's now been damaged, or maybe been removed, or just not there anymore, so it has been boarded up currently. So the building is not in the condition it once used to be. It's not in the best condition, but it is still standing, and it does seem to be quite sturdy, especially since it was built in 1870. So this is my site.